Alright guys, this is a call with the Brantford Exchange. Today I'm going to talk about when to buy and when to sell a stock. I know we've talked about it before, but we've talked about it, broke it down into individual indicators on this channel. We have videos up talking about support and resistance, talking about MACD, talking about RSI, talking about the EMA, talking about the SMA, talking about confirmations, and risk management. But today, I'm just going to put this into one short video for you, basically just kind of break it all down on how it all works together, and how we determine when is a good time to buy and when is a good time to sell. All of those indicators all included in this video. I'm going to just kind of show this. So with the current market conditions, I'm very bearish on the blue chip stocks. I'm very bearish, definitely on the financials, definitely on the tech companies, definitely on some energy companies, definitely on the real estate, definitely on manufacturing stocks. But what I am bullish on is definitely the mining stocks, the resource stocks, commodities, precious metals, definitely. But at any rate, we're looking at CDE here. This is a mining company, and it's only trading. It's pretty cheap right now. It's trading at not even $4.70 right now. But basically, I'm gonna break this down as if I was looking to buy it myself right now, which I actually am. So I'm just gonna break it down on video for you guys and just kind of show you my thought process, what I'm thinking, when will be a good time to buy, when will be a good time to sell. So all right, so let's look at this. First, I'm going to basically break down support and resistance, which again, we all know how to draw support and resistance lines. If you don't, there's videos on this channel. All you have to do is go down this playlist in the course material playlist, and you'll be able to find a video on support and resistance lines, and find out how to draw them and what they mean. So basically, this stock right now is nearing a resistance. So it's going to try and test this resistance now and see if it can break it, or if it's going to be too strong and it's going to get rejected off of that resistance. But what's important is that if it does manage to break this resistance, we have to remember that old resistances will turn into new supports. So if it can break above that resistance, now that resistance will turn into a support as long as it confirms, which we always recommend that we wait for confirmation on this channel, but we'll get into that in a second. So right now it's testing this resistance. It's either going to get rejected off the resistance and pull back to an old support, which might be a better buy point if it ends up trending all the way back down to $3.80. That would be a good buy point, because you always want to buy low and sell high if you're longing a stock. So we would want to buy close to the support. Right now it's close to resistance, so this will be a better time to sell this stock if I was already holding it, because you're up at resistance. It's peaking out right now, or it has potential to peak out and get rejected. I think it's more likely that it's going to try. It's kind of just going to test this resistance for a little bit before it makes a decision. It may not break or reject this resistance until maybe like later in the last hour and power hour of trading, in between 3 and 4 o'clock. Other than that, though, we want to look at the MACD. The MACD, you want the MACD to be pointing upwards, which it is. It's a little high right now, but it is still pointing upwards nonetheless. One thing that you don't want to see is if the MACD starts to curl back down. That would be a good indicator to sell the stock or not buy the stock. If you're looking to buy, you always want, if you're looking to buy, you want the MACD to be pointing upwards, curling upwards. One Thinkorswim, you can set these little arrows on your MACD indicator to be able, it'll tell you if there's a green arrow pointing up, that's signaling a buy signal. If there's a red arrow pointing down, that's signaling a sell. And you can see right here how there's a green arrow pointing up. This is when our MACD was starting to curl up, and you got these green candlesticks, these green bars on the MACD. That's when you saw the stock spike here. So you want to look for those green arrows signaling a good buy signal. If you're looking to sell, then you want to look for those red arrows that are signaling a sell signal. Next, you want to look at the RSI. The RSI is on this stock right now closer to 70. Of course, we're looking at the RSI on the 30-70 scale, and if it's closer to 70, that means that it's more overbought and you can be expecting a sell-off soon. And if it's closer to 30, then you can be expecting a rally soon, because it is oversold. So when you're looking to buy, you want to look for these blue lines. You want to look for the RSI to break either below or very close to 30. You don't want to pick up a stock if the RSI is peaking out closer to 70, because that means that it's getting, it's more likely that it's going to sell off soon. And as you can see, this stock is nearing resistance. A couple green candlesticks. It looks like it has a lot of room to pull back to its EMA, about 3%. It can, it can pull back and kind of bounce off that EMA, because remember, EMA and SMA are going to act as support. But you can see how the MACD is a little high right now, even though it is still curling up and pointing up, but the RSI is more on the overbought side, so you can be expecting a sell off there. And the EMA and the SMA, again, we want to make sure that this stock, whatever stock you're looking to buy into, is trending above its EMA and its SMA, and you have confirmation of that. And what I mean by confirmation is that you want to see it break above. So right here, you see how this big green candlestick, it broke above its EMA and its SMA, but you wouldn't want to buy in right there, though, because there's no guarantee that it's going to be able to hold above that EMA and that SMA, and use that as support. So you want to see these two red candlesticks, and then you want to see another green candlestick. You want to see red candlesticks pull back closer to the EMA, and then another green candlestick or two, or another green candlestick candlestick, confirming that it is still uptrending, that it was able to bounce off that support and confirm that support, so that you know that it's not going to fall back through. For example, something like that, when that happens, like right here, you can see that there's a big green candlestick. It popped above its EMA and its SMA, but when it pulled back, the support wasn't strong enough to hold the share price there. So it continued to trend back down until it hit its old support and then bursted above the EMA and the SMA again. But you wouldn't want to have got it in. See, if you wouldn't have waited for confirmation right there and you bought in on that candlestick that I'm hovering over right now, then you would have lost money on the position because it didn't hold that support. You didn't wait for confirmation and it broke back below the EMA and the SMA. Whereas here, if you would have bought in, somewhere like here, then you could have rode that up to its resistance and covered almost 8% profit. But you want to make sure that you're waiting for that confirmation. That way you don't screw yourself over just because you are being impatient. Again, patience is going to be key in this market, especially in a bear market, which we are now currently in. I think the only major index that's not in an official bear market yet, meaning that it has pulled back 20% since its peak, is the Dow Jones, but it's almost there. The S&P is there and the NASDAQ is there. So we're definitely in bear market territory, and we want to be extra careful about what we're buying in this type of market. So at any rate, then the next thing that we want to look at, and this is important for when you're actually looking to get into a position, is going to be the VWAP indicator. And the VWAP, we always have to look at it on a smaller time frame. Right now I'm going to look at it on the 1 minute. So here, as you can see, there's 3 parts of the VWAP. Again, we have a video on all of these indicators broken down individually. So if you want to look at that, then go back in this playlist, in the course material playlist, and you'll be able to look at, you'll be able to watch short little videos, like 5-minute videos on what each of these indicators mean and how to use them. But right now, we're just going over all of them as a whole, and just kind of looking at how to buy and sell into a position. So again, this VWAP is access, support, and resistance, just as an EMA and SMA does. VWAP, these 3 lines in the VWAP also act as support and resistance. So right now it is, again, this would be a good time to sell this stock because you still have this resistance here at $4.65, and also this stock is peaking out closer to the top line of the VWAP, which is, again, usually where it'll get rejected and start to trend back down. As you can see, as it did here, it hit that peak at the top of the VWAP and then trended back down closer to its support down at the bottom. But again, this isn't a stock that I would buy right at the moment. Let's take a look back at it here and kind of see what the plan is. So either this stock is either going to do one of 2 things. It's going to get rejected off of this resistance and pull back and kind of sell off and pull back, and in which case, if it did, we would want to wait. This is just going to be a waiting stock for right now. We're just waiting to see if it's going to reject off of this resistance and pull back, and if it pulls back, that's when I'm going to be looking to get in, is after the pullback, when I can get a better price on it, because right now it's peaking out, it's close to this resistance. You can see red candlestick popping up. It's starting to get rejected off of that. Or if it does manage to break above that resistance, I would want to see it break above the resistance, again, pull back. I want to see a red candlestick, and then 1 or 2 red candlesticks, and then I want to see a green candlestick bounce off of that support at $4.65. If it can manage to do that, then that would be a good time for me to get into this stock and ride it back up and ride it up to its next resistance, which I have. So say I managed to get in at $4.70 or something like that. When I got the confirmation that old resistance has turned into a new support, then the potential for profit that I see here would be 12%, because that's where I have my next resistance line drew. If we look at it in this time frame, you can see in here, this would be the margin that I would be covering right in here. So that's that's about 12% right there. But that's about it. That's how we look at when we're going to buy, when we're going to sell. Just again, you have to remember, you want to draw support and resistance line. You want the MACD to be pointing up. You want the RSI to be closer to 30 or oversold, and you want the EMA and you want the candlesticks to be trending above the EMA and the SMA. You want to look, if you're looking to buy into a position, you want it to be closer to. I'm going to go back to the VWAP right now just to show you while I'm wrapping up. You want it to be closer to the bottom of one of the lines. If you're getting trending in. If it's trending up and it's, you know, in the top of the VWAP, you want to buy in closer to that middle VWAP line, because that's when again, support, and you want to be buying in there because that's a better deal than if you're buying it when it's peaking out at the top, or if it's, you know, down, or if it's, you know, trending in between the bottom of the VWAP here. Then again, you still want to buy it closer to its support or closer to the bottom line, because that's going to be support and not resistance, and you always want to pick up closer to support and not resistance, because if it's closer to a resistance, it's getting ready to sell off, and you don't want to buy in there, because then you would be buying high and selling low, and that's going to lose you money. You want to buy low and sell high. But that's pretty much it. This was just a quick little video just to kind of put all of those indicators together for you, show you when's a good time to buy, when's a good time to sell. If you guys have any questions, just leave them down in the comments below. If you guys want to see anything in the future, you have any video suggestions, put them down in the comments, and we'll be sure to get to that for you. Follow us on our social medias to stay updated with the content that we're posting, and be sure, guys, to join that Discord chat. The Discord's growing more and more every day. It's a good group of people. It's a good group of experienced traders that are in there giving call outs, and, you know, helping each other stay profitable, giving call outs, giving second opinions, asking questions, and just having overall good conversation about the current market. And especially, you know, as markets are getting more volatile here, they're selling off more aggressively. It's good to have second opinions around you. So that Discord is going to be really helpful. So make sure you join that. Make sure you follow our socials, and like this video and share if it was helpful. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I think that we might post a video over the weekend, maybe something small over the weekend. If not, the next video will definitely be up by Monday. So we'll see you guys then, and thank you again for watching.